Welcome once again to Octane Mobile Gaming with yours truly, iOctane. So the event started this morning, and I was using this deck to get me up to platinum until I got all the season coins that I needed to get the Master Collection card to craft the ultimate form. I did try the 500 gem pack, but I wasn't lucky this week, unfortunately. However, I still got the Master Collection card in the end. This deck is cheap, it's effective, it's obtainable. Now this card, Frankie, is available in the collection if you haven't got it, or you might be lucky to get a copy of this from the vault. Frankie is a really good card. What Frankie will do, he'll create up to 22 Power Gem 1s. And this is depending on skill points. So you need commander skill points. So when you're using this card, you have to put at least 1 or 2 commander relics on board the deck. So I've got actually 3 commander relics on it, and I'm using the support card from the same deck, which is Sabrina, Halloween Apparition. I'm using 2 of Elusive Alicia, not Alicia, as I was saying yesterday, and she's the current support card, and I'm using the current event card, which is Droom Enigma. That one works really well. This one works really well for the quests. You can't use the same deck for the quests as you use for the guild bosses and the solo bosses that comes up on the quest map. This is the deck that I've been using for that particular one. Now, depending on what bosses you're gonna fight, when you're going up against the platinum guild bosses, a lot of them will run Gem Silence, so you need to put a card on board that dispels Gem Silence. This card does exactly that. It's a generation 2 card. It's not really powerful. The only reason why it's there is to dispel Gem Silence. You need to dispel Gem Silence. It will affect your ability to produce power gems. It will affect this card, Valiant Vanguard. If Valiant Vanguard is hit with Power Gem Silence, you will not create your 15 Power Gem 3s. Now Vanguard, Valiant Vanguard is part of the Grail deck. It's got a mechanics called Grail Mechanics. For those of you who have never seen it before, you can get it from the current vault. It's not available, however, in the 6-star collection in the event. It will create 3 Power Gem 2s and add 4 stacks of Grail. Now when Grail expires, you will create 15 Power Gem 3s, as I said. It does heal you for 20% of the team recovery as well while Grail is active. If you're struggling for health, you can put a scepter on board to aid in your recovery. I've got 2 copies of that. I'm running Droom Enigma again. He will create, I think it's 4 Power Gem 1s, and he will destroy 8 Power Gems as well. And I'm also running Elusive Alicia. And this works quite well for the platinum guild bosses and the platinum bosses that shows up on the quest map. This is the combination that I'm using for the Carillion Crusade map. This one works quite well. However, Defiant Duet won't work well against wave bosses or group fights. So where you've got more than one boss on the Crusade, when you going through the Crusade wave fights, you get 4 bosses from time to time. It will not work against those bosses because the boss to the far left is the only boss that it will actually delay its turn counter. So save its ability for a solo boss. When you're going up against one of the solo bosses in the Crusade map, that's when you use his ability and you generate a bit extra power gems as well. So it's a quite good card to have. It's quite handy. Really love that card. I'm using Vision of the Void, which is the current ultimate form. I'm using the ultra rare and 2 copies of a Master Collection card to produce power gems and to heal my deck as well, because health can become a problem towards the end of the fights. This is a combination that I'm using for the solo bosses on the Crusade map and the guild bosses as well. Again, it uses Vision of the Void, it uses the current ultra rare. It doesn't use any of the Master Collection card, because what I find is Jailers is a really, really good card to have. It's really handy, really powerful. So I'm using Jailers and I'm using the ultra rare from the Jailers deck as well. Both cards will give a attack boost. I think it's either attack or damage. Just let me check before. Attack boost. So it gives 1200% attack boost to all arcane killer cards, and both of these cards will do that. Consecrated Wizardess and Jailers. So they will generate more damage than the current ultimate form at 1 pink star. I'm using Defiant Duet as a lead card so that I can buff all the cards on the deck. Because if you use Vision of the Void or it's ultra rare, they will only buff each other. They won't buff the rest of the cards. If you use Jailers, it will do the same thing as well. It will buff itself and it will buff Consecrated Wizardess, and vice versa with Consecrated Wizardess. But Defiant Duet will buff all Earth Commander card. There we go. Those are the combinations that I came up with, and they work really well. So let's see how they actually perform in the arena. So Platinum is where the cheat deck will work really well. So that's where you want to focus all your attention if you're going to use the combination that I just showed you. Try as well when you're using this combination. No, not this one. Yeah, it's this one. Sorry. Try as much as possible to use beast killer cards with this deck, just to take your health up as high as possible, because as I said, health can become an issue during the fights. The higher up you go, the more waves you have. So when you get up to, I think, 7 waves, then you start getting a wisp that will heal your deck. But you might die before you get up to the wisp, so you need to keep your health up as much as possible. So as you can see, 1.8, 1,800 health I've got. There you go. It works really well. All the cards apart from Frankie has got a 3-turn cooldown, so I can activate all my other cards. Didn't really need to activate the last card. There you go. It works really well. It's a really good combination for Platinum. You probably could try using it in the next one above, which is Diamond. However, you might struggle a bit, and you don't want to start struggling, because that's when the event becomes quite stressful, because then you start laboring. The graft becomes really, really unbearable. That's it. Boss should be dead. Ooh. Didn't activate my Droom Enigma. Boss is dead. So as I said, it works really well at this level. Alright. So let's see my quest deck for Carillion. And this is my deck for Carillion. Again, try and use beast cards, whether it's a support card, master collection card, ultra rare. Don't use the main card or the event card. The event card or the main card, a lot of people use it as their use it as their cards that you can take as an ally, it will not buff you because its leader skill is only available in GVG. So it's pointless actually using a card like that. So again, I'm going to activate all my cards apart from Defiant Duet. Don't really need him right now. Probably need him a bit later, even though this is a solo boss, because I know I can take down this boss quite easily using all the other cards. However, later on I might need his skill, so I'm going to save him because he's got a 5-turn cooldown as well. Here, this is where I'm saying you can't really use Defiant Duet here, because this boss to the far right, let me touch him. Okay, after the attack is finished, I'll touch him and you'll see arrow come up on his turn counter. So right beside the turn counter where the arrow is pointing, he's the one that will be stunned by a Defiant Duet battle skill. The rest will just attack you as usual. Waste, total waste. So save his battle skill. Just waiting on the battle skill of the rest of the cards to become available, and then I'm going to activate everybody all together. You might be wondering what's the activation sequence. I don't particularly pay much mind to activation sequence when I'm going through the quests, but I pay attention to the activation sequence when I'm going up against a solo boss like the guild boss. I pay attention to the activation sequence because that's when it's more important. That's when you need as much damage output as possible, especially the bosses on the quest map, because you do get overkill on those bosses. So pay attention to the activation sequence then. The activation sequence, if you've got the full deck, you need to activate your support card first to get as much gems on the board so that you can boost your damage as much as possible, because both the ultra rare and ultimate farm give you boosts based on the amount of gems that's on the board. So the more gems on the board, the more boosts you'll get. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna activate Defiant Duet. There you go, extra power gems on the board. Boss is stunned, but I'm going to kill the boss anyway, so I'm not too bothered about that. And if he doesn't die, he's stunned for 2 turns. There you go, he's out for the count. So we're going up to wave 4 now. And let me see, wave 4 is going to be a group fight. So it's not a solo boss. And as soon as all the battle skills are ready, 3-turn cooldown, so doesn't matter. And I really like the effect of the gem destroy. It's almost like you've been hit by chaos, but only thing, instead of losing all your gems, all your earth gems just drop to the bottom. So it's quite easier to use than chaos when you're hit with chaos. Because with chaos, you don't know where anything is gonna fall, but you know with your earth gems, all your earth gems is gonna fall to the bottom of the board. So as long as you know where you've got 3 earth gems, you just look to the bottom of the board, they're gonna fall exactly there, straight down the line. Swap them, match them. There you go. So it's quite easy to use once you get the hang of it. But it's really good. You don't have to keep activating your battle skill to get Gem Destroy. Really love this battle skill. Really enjoying it using this deck. And I'm really glad I got the ultimate form as well, because it will be a very useful ultimate form going forward. Battle skills should be ready now. We're going to hit him with everything that we've got. Defiant Duet and all. So here we go. So if you want, what you could do, if you're thinking about activation order, activate Defiant Duet first, your 2 Master Collection card, then both your ultra rares, and then your ultimate form last, and then you get maximum damage output. There we go. That's it. Let's see if we got enough keys where we can fight. Okay, there is a solo boss. So we're gonna fight this solo boss instead of go up and against a guild boss. I'm gonna fight this solo boss so you can see my solo combo in action. Where is it? This is the one with Defiant as the lead card. Now I'm not gonna have a lot of health, so I'm gonna use 3 keys. You need to use 3 keys anyway to maximize the amount of damage that you're putting out, to get as much from this boss as possible, because it can do up to 500 overkill. Probably won't do 500 overkill, but we'll try and do as much as possible. We're gonna chip the boss down as well. We're not gonna kill it in one go, so we're gonna chip away at the boss. So the first turn, I'm gonna activate all my cards. Defiant, do it first, then the jailers, then the ultra rare, then my next ultra rare, then my ultimate form. And as you can, ooh, I forgot that jailers does that much damage. Trust me, didn't remember that jailers does that much damage. So you can see the amount of damage that the jailer actually does. 24. It's doing far more damage than the current ultimate form. That's what I'm saying. Jailers is a really good ultimate form. It's one of the best ultimate form that we've got around right now. One of the best, not the best, one of the best. The decks that we got towards the beginning of the year are a bit more powerful than the decks that we're getting now. Why, I don't know, but that's it. So that's the combinations that I'm using. The first 2 combinations that I use, they're cheap, they're cheerful, they're accessible. You might be able to get those cards, you might have them already, so you can use those cards, get up to try and get up to diamond, but I would say platinum. Platinum is where those deck actually works quite well. It's not frustrating, it's a bit easier, you can play at a leisure, you can accumulate up a lot of keys. So what I'm doing, I'm accumulating up keys until Saturday, then I'm gonna attack all the guild bosses and go from there. Okay, so hope the information is helpful, hope you like the video. My Facebook link will be in the description below. Leave me a video of your deck combo in action, or leave me just a photo of your current deck that you're using. I'll feature it in a video probably on the weekend. Like, subscribe, and as always is Octane saying, stay healthy, stay strong, peace, and enjoy the rest of the event. Until next video, bye for now.